Must be the wind. What in God's name? What do you want here? Hop it or I'll call a guard. What are you doing here? What do you want? You've no business here. What are you doing here? What do you want here? Go and play your game somewhere else. Clear off before I have you thrown out. Are you looking for me? Hey, you have no business here. Welcome to the renowned... God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
I'd like to enroll in the big tournament.
All right. As long as you've got the enrollment stake. Sir Hanish's rule is every contestant has to put up 60 groschen.
Of course. Here you are.
I'll write your name down. Henry, you said. And I need to know what weapon you choose.
Warhammer and shield. I know how to handle those.
Good. Get yourself ready. You're next in line. Good luck to you. Entering the arena now will be Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Radzig Kubla, who will measure his skills against Jake the Stake, a brewery hand from Ratai. Let us wish the combatants luck. The combatants have entered the arena and the first duel may commence. The combatants will engage in a duel with warhammers and shields.
Si giri.
End of the first round. And the victor is the second bout will surely be no less exciting. This one may decide the winner. Our combatants will demonstrate their skills with short sword and shield.
Come and get it.
And the second duel was won by Henry of Skalitz. As victor in this round, he shall proceed to the next.
Hey.
Entering the arena now will be Stephen of Deliverance, spearman in the company of Sir Radzik Kobilar. And his adversary will be Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Radzik Kobilar. Welcome, our warriors. And this very first bout will afford plenty of entertainment. The combatants will engage in a duel with warhammers and shields. The first victor in our tourney is Henry of Skalitz. And now's the time to choose weapons for the next duel. Our combatants will demonstrate their skills with short sword and shield.
Go ahead and gather your strength. You'll need it. Fuck it.
Henry of Skalitz. He is hereby declared the victor in this round and shall proceed to the next round. The first combatant will be the victor of many previous tourneys and a combatant today too, Peter, called Black Peter. And his adversary will be Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Radzik Kobilar. Let us wish the combatants luck. The combatants have entered the arena and the first duel may commence. The combatants will engage in a duel with warhammers and shields.
Bugger!
Lost your wind.
The first victor in our tourney is Henry of Skalitz. Change weapons for the second bout. Our combatants will demonstrate their skills with short sword and shield.
Here! Come and get it! Curse it!
And the second duel was won by Henry of Skalitz. Lords and ladies, good men and good wives, you have just witnessed the final duel in today's Ratai tourney, for which we all owe gratitude to Sahanush of Laipa. All glory to the victor, Henry of Skalitz, man-at-arms in the company of Sir Radzik Kobila. His prize will be given to him by our gracious Sahanush.
Mother of God!
What's that? What are you talking?
There was a murder right inside the Sasau monastery.
Hey!
What?
The monastery was closed up tight, and there are only the...
What? Well, I never. For you. that? Who's there?
Here, Henry. Your prize.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You've earned it. God be with you.
You're right there. Anyway, the pieces she made last time to old Tonda from Tabor, the one I buy goods from. And he said right away,
Yeah.
Don't move a finger. Surrender.
Enough!
You've committed a crime.
Please.
It's you. You crippled someone. This definitely won't come cheap. You'll learn crime doesn't pay.
Hey,
Enough! What impertinence is this? Do you really want me to lose my temper?
Aye. Right. I've gone all weak at the knees.
Damn it. Here's your coin then.
You've paid for your crimes. I hope you've learnt your lesson.
Ah!
Well, I never.
surrender. You're under arrest.
Help! Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Greetings. What do you need?
I'm interested.
And what is it?
I'd like.
God bless.
Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah.
Who's there? Who's there? What's going on there? Hey! What's going on there? What's going... Hey! Hey! You piece of shit!
Get him!
Fucking hell! Boy, yeah! I'll gut you like a rabbit!
Hey, lad! Don't you want a little wager on the ratte tourney?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
God grant you health. How may I help you?
What's the matter?
It's the tourney. It always upsets me.
Why would the tourney upset you?
It brings back sad memories about my son Svartalfluk. God rest him. He always loved sword fighting. Even when he was just a lad, he used to duel with his mates with sticks. And for years he saved every groschen he got so he could buy a real weapon. Wasn't long before he had the hang of all sorts of fancy strikes and feints. So when he heard Sir Hanush was holding tourneys for common folk, he was first in line to enroll.
I see. And he got hurt in the arena?
Oh, heavens no. Sir Hanush set the rules in such a way that nobody would suffer more than a bruise or two. And he makes damn sure the rules are obeyed.
Did your son ever win the tourney?
Oh, aye, more than once. Svartalfluk wasn't the strongest, but he was agile as a weasel. And he put his heart and soul into it.
So what happened to him then?
Well, this fella by the name of Peter enrolled. They called him Black Peter on account of the colour he wore. He beat all comers. No man could match him. Only Svartalfluk was determined to take him, so he started training all the hours God gave. He even started going to Captain Bernard for lessons. And in the last tourney, he got the better of Black Peter in the end and won the prize. Only he never came home that day. I figured he was having a drink in Rattay to celebrate his victory. But he didn't even turn up in the morning, and I started getting worried. I was just on my way to look for him when some merchants came by. They found my boy by the road just past Rattay. He was still alive, but he was burning up and shaking like a leaf. I sent for the sawbones right away. But before the day was out, I had to send for the priest.
Do you think it was this Black Peter who killed him?
It was the first thing crossed my mind. Aye. But there's no proof. It could have been anyone, I suppose.
Do you know anything about this Black Peter?
Oh, not much. I asked around, but nobody knew nothing much about him. Except he was a stuck-up bastard. He always just turned up for the tourney, took his prize and vanished.
Did Svartalfluk have any wounds?
Only a couple of scratches and bruises from the tourney. Nothing that would kill a man. Not even the sawbones could figure out what done him in.
I think I can tell you what happened to Svartalfluk.
Really?
The fact that he died just after beating Black Peter and winning the tourney was no coincidence.
So it was that bastard?
Yes. Black Peter lay in wait and ambushed me. He's a nasty piece of work. The thing is, he had some kind of poison on his weapon, so I reckon he might have poisoned your son. The signs you spoke of point to it.
Merciful God, I knew it! But how did you get away from the fucker? Did you kill him?
He was no match for me. I sent him straight to hell where he belongs.
Thank you. It won't bring my boy back, but it gives me some peace to know you avenged his death. Here. Take this. It's not much, but it's all I have. God be with you. See you later.
Take a look. I've got everything you need, day or night, at home or at work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Your money or your lives?
Mit képzeltek magatokról? Ti szarok!
What's that? What the hell was that?
How did this get here?
Well, look what's come crawling out from under some...
I'll have you.
I'll
Here.
You call that combat?
Is that all you've got?
Dobra, this will be interesting.
Come here, Lily.
Now. Curse it. Ow. You fucked up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Wait here for me. Stay.
God grant you
I'd like to make you.
and what? God bless.
Oh, 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 oh. What the?
Yeah.
Well, well, Henry. Where have you been? Actually, never mind. Uncle has the same look on his face when he's been at those nasty baths. What have you been up to?
Never. Why on earth would I go with some harlot when I've got the prettiest girl around?
You silver-tongued devil. But I know you. You'd never lie to me, would you? I'm sorry for doubting you.
Wouldn't you like to take a stroll somewhere?
I'd love to. I love it here by the water. But how come you've been so quiet the whole time? What's on your mind?
You're on my mind.
Oh? In what way?
Well, you know, how pretty you look in that.
Ah. You think I look pretty, do you?
Yeah. Especially when you laugh.
I was afraid you'd say especially when you've no clothes on.
Well, now that you mention it.
Come here, you charmer. I must go, Henry. Take care.
Hey, lad! Don't you want a little wager on the ratte tourney?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You there! Stop!
Surrender!
All right.
You'll
you
have
in.
to
I
answer for
surrender.
your...
Hey, you!
Got you,
Don't
you
move a
murdering
muscle.
swine! Nobody gets away with murder here. You're in for a lesson you won't forget. Personally, I'd rather string you up. But unfortunately, all I can do is throw you in jail.
I won't put up with any more of this. Keep it up, and you'll rue the day you crossed me.
Aye, right. I've gone all weak at the knees.
Jail it is, then.
Get moving. I hope you rot there.
Подводная Одиссея. Композитор Уолтер Шарф.
God, time to go, youngster. And don't let me see you back here again. You won't have it so easy next time.
Yeah.
God watch over you, good knight, especially in these dark times. Can I do something for you?
I'm...
Good luck then.
Oh.
Yeah.
in here.
Good to see you, lad. Sir Hanush told me you won his tourney. Good job, Henry.
Father, can I ask you about something?
Of course, Henry.
I thought since we drove Toth out of the province, things would be better. I mean that the roads would be safer and so on, and, well, that's not entirely the case.
Ah, the naivety of youth. Driving him out of the province was only the start. He left a lot of cutthroats behind, and they'll be sticking to their trade. What's more, as long as there's a war going on, problems like this will keep coming up.
Well, what can we do about it?
Not an awful lot, unfortunately. My garrison is a shamble these days. I lost most of my men in Skalitz, and what I'm left with after Pribyslavitz is hardly enough even to guard Pigstein. Let alone guarding the roads and patrolling the rest of the province. I simply don't have the men.
Uh-huh. I understand.
That is, I didn't have the men. As it happens, you've come at just the right time. Recently, I asked an old acquaintance for help. Sir Kuno of Rickwald and his mercenary band. The men who ride with him are a rough lot, mostly former convicts, but they're as capable as any squad of soldiers.
Well, excuse me for being so bold, but there's plenty of mercenaries around. Surely you can find a more respectable band?
You have a point, lad, but I'd like to tell you I talked to Kuno because I trust him. But actually my reasons are of a more pragmatic nature. You see, Kuno owes me a favor, so he'll serve me free of charge.
So, you want me to join them?
Yes, but that's not all. I told Kuno I'd send him a guide, but really what I need is for someone to keep a close eye on him and his men. Someone reliable. And I'd say you fit the part. Go and report to him at his encampment. You'll ride with his band on patrols and make sure they don't get too disorderly.
Who is this Sir Kuno of Rickwald?
He's the last baron of the House of Rickwald, which became impoverished. So he took to the mercenary trade, like many poor noblemen do, unless they become robbers, which often isn't all that different. He's certainly an entertaining companion, but as a mercenary, well, let's just say he has his own particular approach to certain matters.
That sounds a little worrying.
Oh, it's nothing too bad. Just that now and again he needs reminding not to step over the line.
How is he indebted to you?
I did him quite a big service, actually. I saved him from the hangman.
Oh, that sounds like quite a story. How did it happen?
You should ask him. You'll be spending quite a while riding together, so it'll help pass the time. But one thing I can tell you, he seems to have taken inspiration from me. A lot of his men had their own encounters with the executioner too.
All right, I'll go and report to him.
Excellent. He set up camp between Ratai and Ledechko. It's a good base for covering the province. Good luck, Henry. And watch out for yourself.
I will, sir. Thanks.
Take care now.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I'll be with you. I'm looking for Sakuno. Sakuno? Baron Rickvold. Isn't this his camp?
You won't get nothing out of him. You must be Radzig's man. I heard he was supposed to send someone.
Yes, Sir Radzig sent me as a guide. I'm Henry.
I'm Jakey. And this here fella, we call the Stone.
I can see why. What's up with him? Cat got his tongue?
No, more like the dog got it. The executioner's dog. When the executioner ripped it out of him. Anyway, you better come along with me. I'll introduce you to the other fellas. And the chief. These here are the Bearman brothers, Petter and Jan. They're a barrel of laughs, except when they're too drunk to string two words together. Like now. Don't get on the wrong side of them, though. When their blood is up, well, it ain't a pretty sight.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, I'm sure.
Never mind the fancy poses, Stefan. You're trying to kill the fucker, not teach him how to dance. And you, Dangler, stand your ground. Don't let him lead you round by the nose.
Sir? Well, sir, this is Henry. From Lord Kobler.
Ah, it's about time Radzig got round to this. We need someone who knows their way around these parts. Leave off with the bowing and curtsying. We don't hold with that tomfoolery here.
Jakey! Where the hell are you sneaking off to?
Go to the farm and get water. The lads are thirsty.
But I went last time.
And you'll go next time, you ungrateful pup. Get your ass moving. Snot-nosed brat. You pull them out of a pile of shit, and they thank you with back talk. Where were we? Oh yeah. We need a guide who knows these parts. So I hope I can rely on you, Herman.
It's Henry.
Right. Well, as I said to Radzig, I don't want to carry any dead weight. We could find ourselves in some very tight situations where every sword counts.
I know how to handle a sword, all right?
I've heard a lot of fellas say that. They still ended up on the wrong end of one. We'll find out. Stefan, take a break. Dangler, let's find out what Harold here can do.
Sure. No problem, Chief.
I'll wring your neck, you cur! Mrtka! Fucker! You asked for it. Bugger! Had enough. Cunt! What's the matter? Lost your balls?
Now. God! I haven't even started yet.
You didn't fare badly at all, I must say. You can ride with us.
All right, good. Thanks.
Don't thank me yet. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Sir Kuno, can you tell me something about yourself?
Drop the sir. That title brought me nothing but grief. But what do you want to know?
Sir Radzig told me the Rickvold family lost its wealth. How did that happen?
There's all sorts of ways to become impoverished. Nothing easier. Especially when your father's a fool. And your mother's mad as a bat.
Oh.
But it's a long and twisted story. We took our name from Rickvald Castle. But that actually belonged to the convent of the Poor Clares in Tynitz. And my father only leased it. You see, he knew the abbess there since they were young. Knew her very well. There was even talk that she only joined the order because her family wouldn't let her marry him. Anyway, whether he was fucking her right there in the convent, or he just took a lot of interest in scripture, he spent an awful lot of time in Tynitz.
Oh, he might have been after a bit of both.
Sinning and confessing all in one place. Well, I can see the convenience of it. Anyway, my mother never had strong nerves. Truth be told, her sanity was always shaky. Pa's escapades drove her cuckoo entirely. Then, one frosty December morning, I was woken by screaming and smoke. I looked out the window, and I saw my mother there, in the courtyard, wreathed in flames. Behind her, the stables, the farm buildings and the tower were burning too. And she just stood there, shrieking with laughter.
Christ, that sounds like a scene straight out of hell.
Hellish it was, I can tell you. Me and my sister Adela and a few servants managed to get out before the whole place went up. I couldn't get to my father. Or my little brother. Poor lad was only 7. My sister and I were left destitute after the fire. But then my cousin, Adam of Drevich, took us into his castle. A few weeks later, he offered to buy what was left of our estates and sell me a small fortress near a Kovnik. It was a great relief. We suddenly had some hope of a future again. So I told my sister about it. And it was the biggest mistake of my life. A week later, the two of them announced to me they were getting married. And all that was left of our estates, lands, woods, villages, Adela was to get it all as a dowry.
But surely that was for you to decide. You were the head of the family, right?
Aye. Only I barely had 17 years under my belt, and I'd just lost everything. Of course, I argued with them, and that was the only excuse they needed to kick me out of Drevich too.
That's pretty harsh.
You're telling me. But I'm not complaining. As my pa always used to say, if you can turn your hand to something, you'll never be lost. I doubt it ever crossed his mind how often I'd remember those words.
Sir Radzig
is all.
Oh,
but it's a. You see,
oh.
Hell,
What about your debt to Sir Radzig? How did that come about?
A twist of fate, lad. I was fighting in the hostilities between the House of Schallenberg and the town of Colleen. Some trade dispute it was. and I fought under the Schallenberg colours. In the end, the two sides negotiated a truce, and I rode to Colleen with the delegation that was to parley there. We stopped off at an inn on the way, and it was there that I met Radzig Kobyla. I could tell at first sight he was a man after my own heart. A likeable rogue, with a sharp mind and a merry soul. We spent the whole night drinking together and talking, and in the morning we set off together, with sore heads, but in good temper, since he was travelling to Colleen same as I was. Only, once we reached the city gates, they arrested me on the spot. Seems the burghers had it in for me, since I'd been making their lives hell for a good 6 months. On the other hand, I was a member of the peace delegation, so by rights, they shouldn't have even looked at me sideways. And then it hit me why Radzig was there. Colleen is a royal city, so he was there to represent the king's interests.
I see. So he was on the other side.
That's right. Anyway, they threw me in a dungeon, and a few days later word reached me that the Schallenbergs had reached an agreement with the burghers. Only part of the deal was they would give them my head. And I'd surely have ended my days swinging from the town battlements if it hadn't been for Radzig. He liked me, and he could see it was a dirty trick, so he somehow squared things with the city council.
Lucky for you.
Indeed. I owe my life to Radzig, and I'll never forget it. He's asked me twice before for help. This is the third time, and how could I refuse him?
I'd like to ask about your men.
Ask away.
What about the fellow they call Dangler?
I've never ridden with a better man, I can tell you. He doesn't say a lot, but for that, he listens all the better. Nothing escapes him.
So he scouts for you?
Not just that. It's happened more than once. I was closing a deal with someone, and Dangler told me after that he didn't like the smell of the fellow nearly every time he was right, and the fellow tried to stab me in the back afterwards.
Those Behrman brothers are quite a pair.
Indeed they are. There's no more mercy in them than in, well, a bear. If I told them to skewer you on the spot, they'd do it, without batting an eyelid.
Jesus.
Oh, aye. They'd argue first about which one of them got to do the job. But they're as obedient as a huntsman's dogs. Real soldiers, the pair of them. Reliable, as long as they don't get too drunk. Then there's no keeping them under control. But nobody's perfect.
What can you tell me about Stefan?
Fletching? For one thing, he's a very resourceful fellow.
How did he come to join your band?
Well, let's just say he was in the right place at the right time. You'll find he has quite a knack for that.
What exactly happened?
Sorry, I'd love to tell you the whole story, but I'd be betraying his trust.
Oh, now you've got me curious. Maybe I should ask him myself.
Sure, why not? Our Fletch does love to converse.
What about that dumb one? How did he end up with you?
The stone? Oh, he just kind of tagged along.
Just like that?
Aye, just like that. We were riding from Olomouc to a castle past Kladsko, when we ran into him and some other wayfarers camping along the way. You know how it goes. We made acquaintance with them, had a drink or two. Then we travelled on together. After all, there's safety in numbers.
I'm not sure I'd be thinking that if I ran into you lot on the road.
We might have done some things I ain't proud of. But wayfarers are sacred even for me. Anyway, our fellow travellers dropped off along the way. One in Mohelnitz, one in Schoenberg, and the rest in Kladsko. Except for the stone. He stuck with us the whole way. The fellas kept asking him what he was after, but of course he never said a word. When we were approaching Barsdorf, I ordered the men to get rid of him. I had some business at the castle, and I didn't want any strangers sticking their noses in. Stefan tried to tell him nicely, but he just sat there, staring like he was turned to stone. That's when we gave him the name. Then the Behrman brothers tried to get him off his horse. He booted Jan in the face and knocked him out cold. Then he jumped down and felled Petter with one punch. A man who can do that is a man you want on your side. So we kept him.
Weren't you worried about having a stranger in your band? Especially one who didn't talk.
No, I figured if he can't talk, he can't tell. Besides, I've had worse.
What about Jakey?
Jakey, that boy will be the death of me. You've got to be tough on him, or he's good for nothing. But I'm fond of him, in a way.
Like a son?
I wouldn't go that far. But I've no family of my own. And unlike those other cutthroats, he seems to me like a good lad.
Well, you're pretty hard on him, though. And the others keep him on his toes, too.
The boy needs a firm hand. I was like him once, and I got the same too. If we let him be, we'd end up with a third bear man. And who'd want that?
True. 2 is more than enough.
Hey, Henry, I'd like a word with you.
Henry!
Henry, come here.
So, tell me, Stoney, got your eye on some nice wench? True, there ain't many redheads in these parts. Remember those 3 sisters in Colleen? What were they called again?
Huh?
One blind, one deaf, and the other dumb. And we could only get the blind.
Hey, mate. Frantic man. Henry.
Stefan, can you tell me something about yourself?
What is it you want to know, youngster?
I'm curious how you ended up in Kuno's band.
You noticed I don't exactly fit in with this pack of felons and reprobates, huh? Unfortunately, you can't always choose your company, can you?
No, I suppose not. But how did you come to be with them?
Oh, well, I'd love to tell you, but Kuno insisted we keep that between the 2 of us. And I'm not one to break a confidence.
Oh. But, well, Kuno said it was you who wanted to keep it secret.
Really? Are you sure about that? You must have misunderstood him.
No, I don't think so. At least... Oh, never mind. So, where did you live before? What did you do?
I used to live in a town before. Back there I was doing something very different. Although, now I think of it, maybe it wasn't that different in a way, if you know what I mean.
Actually, I haven't the foggiest idea what you mean. You don't give anything away, do you?
Me? I'm an open book, lad. Ask me anything you like, and I'll give you an honest answer. Go on.
Maybe another time. My head's starting to spin.
As you wish. Shame, though. There's nothing I enjoy more than conversing.
Can you tell me something about yourself, Jan?
Why not? I haven't been to confession for a while.
How did you end up in Kuno's band?
It's nothing new for me and my brother. We've been fighting for coins since we were old enough to carry swords. Last time we rode with one Lombardian by the name of Collini. All over Bavaria, Austria and that.
What happened? Did you fall out?
Nah, we just wanted to come back to Bohemia. You know how it is. Where no one understands a word you say, it ain't worth a damn.
You and Petter seem very close.
As brothers should be, lad.
To tell the truth, I'd never have guessed the two of you came from the same mother.
Oh, we've got the same ma, all right. I ain't got no ma, and neither does he. And the same goes for our pa. It's probably Satan himself.
Oh. I'm a bit confused. You're not actually brothers?
We might be. We might not. A band of mercenaries found us in a village when I was still a baby, and Petter hardly walking. Playing in the dirt together we was. Their leader took a shine to us for some reason. He took us away and raised us up. Raised us with swords for playthings and ale for mother's milk. A few years later, he was killed in Saxony. The band fell apart, but we joined another right away. That's the way it's been ever since, over and over.
So you two never had... well,
A normal life. We ride from one fight to another, risking our necks and killing who they pay us to kill. That's normal for us. Always has been.
Hey, mate!
Can you tell me something about yourself?
What do you want to know?
Why do they call you Dangler?
Because Kuno found me dangling on the end of a rope.
Ah. I see. So, he saved you from execution?
I wouldn't call it an execution exactly. At the time I was squire to the Lord of Buzitz. There was a proper knight for you, full of ideals and honour. I looked up to him as a hero. Then in one skirmish he was killed, and the foe took me captive. They stood me on a shaky wooden cross with my hands tied behind my back and a noose around my neck. For amusement. Then they rode off laughing.
But how long were you stuck there?
I couldn't tell you. Hours, maybe days. In the end, everything started going black. I could feel the devil pulling me down by the legs.
Jesus! How on earth did you survive?
I didn't. When Kuno found me, he says I was dead as a doornail. They cut me down and took the rope off me. Then someone gave me a kick and I coughed and came back to life. Sort of.
Tell me something about yourself.
What do you want to know?
How did you and Jan end up with Kuno?
Me and my brother been riding with coin men since we was little. This was just another mercenary band for us. But Kuno seemed like a decent kind of fellow who'd treat us fair.
Your brother was saying you rode before with some Collini fella.
He did he? And did he tell you why we finished with him?
Yeah, he said you missed Bohemia.
Ha ha! Miss Bohemia! That's good! Ha ha ha! But it ain't far from the truth. Jan missed any place where he wouldn't have a band of furious Italians looking to skin him alive.
Ah. He did something to anger them.
Oh, aye. While Collini was away, he broke into the trunk where the coin was kept. Took it all and wagered it with a fellow who claimed his bear knew how to dance, and lost it all.
What? The bear really did dance?
Aye. The costliest Chardash we ever watched. We had to get the fuck out of there before Collini came back, and had the two of us dancing, on the end of a rope.
Henry, I want to have a word with you. Frantic man. Hey, Henry, I'd like a word with you. Hey, mate. Henry, come here. Frantic man. Henry, I want to have a word with you. Come here, I want to ask you something. Hey, Henry, I'd like a word with you. Hey, mate. Henry, I want to have a word with you.
God save you. Good luck, then.
Come here, I want to ask you something.
Charles IV, King of Bohemia and Holy Roman Emperor, had a long and successful reign. The empire he ruled from Prague expanded, and his subjects lived in peace and prosperity. When the emperor died, the whole empire mourned. More than 7,000 people accompanied him on his last procession. The heir to the throne of the flourishing empire was Charles's son, Wenceslas IV, whose father had prepared him for this moment all his life. Wenceslas did not take after his father. He neglected affairs of state for more frivolous pursuits. He even failed to turn up for his own coronation as emperor, which did little to endear him to the Pope. Wenceslas the Idle did not impress the imperial nobility either. His difficulties mounted until the nobles, exasperated by the inaction of their ruler, turned for help to his half-brother, King Sigismund of Hungary.
Henry! Hey, Henry! I'd like a word with you.
Hey, mate!
What is it, Jakey?
The stone wants to talk with you, if you can call it that. Probably about that ring.
What ring?
Ah, no one told you about it. The fellas call it the Ring of Bacchus. It's a kind of game we play. Kuno gave us this ring. It's just a worthless bauble. But when we're at the tavern, Kuno pays everything for the man who has the ring. So we steal the ring from each other and try to trick each other. Well, actually, just the others. They won't let me play. Kuno says I'm too young to get boozed up.
That sounds like a lot of fun. But I don't have the ring, so why does the stone want to see me?
He probably wants you to steal it from someone. Since you're new, the fellows will talk to you, and it won't be suspicious.
All right. I'll have a word with him. Hey, Jakey, can you tell me something about yourself?
Want to get matey, eh? Sure, Henry. What do you want to know?
How did you end up in Kuno's band?
Well, I used to be a baker's hand in Prague, but all the other fellas were always on my back, always swearing at me. Sometimes they even beat me up, took everything I had. To make a bit of coin, I started going to the tavern across the road, entertaining the rich gents with jokes, playing the fool. Sometimes someone would throw me a half-groschen. One time, Kuno turned up there, and I got to talking with him. When I told him all the shit I was getting at the bakery, he offered to take me with him.
I bet you were glad to get out of there.
Yeah, though it's not like they give me much peace here either. It's all,
Jakey, come here. Jakey, go there. Jakey, get that.
Well, surely you can't be any worse off here than in the bakery.
no. Only, at the bakery, the worst I ever got was a beating. It's not like my life was in danger. But here, when those Beerman brothers are drunk, I have to keep well out of sight.
How come they bullied you at the bakery? It's usually the shy ones bullies pick on. That's not exactly you.
Not now, maybe. I learned a thing or two since then.
Oh, come on, you shy? You just said you were playing the fool and telling jokes in the tavern.
All right, I'll tell you the truth. They picked on me because I'm an orphan. The parish priest of St. Apollinaires in Prague found me as a baby in the church one winter's morning. I spent half my childhood in parish houses and half on the street.
I see. That must have been tough.
It still is tough, I can tell you that.
That's fucking good. You're priceless.
Jakey sent me to you. Something about a ring?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose you want me to get it from someone?
Mm-hmm.
Who has it? You mean Kuno?
Mm-mm.
Jakey?
Mm-mm.
Jan Behrman?
Mm-mm.
Peter Behrman?
Mm-mm.
I didn't quite... Is it Fletching?
Mm-mm.
Does Dangler have it?
Mm.
All right. How should I get it?
Blood will be spilt.
Ow!
Ah! Jesus Christ.
Is that all you...
Ah! Ah! I'm over here. Ah! I'll send you straight to hell.
You'll get what's for.
Got weak at the knees, have you?
Is that the best you can do? Curse it!
I'm going to enjoy this.
Radzik man!
What is it, Jake?
The stone one.
What ring?
Ah, no. Kuno gave... So we steal...
That's not...
He probably...
All right. Jakey said... Who... Does Dangler have it? All right.
What in the name of... Where are you sticking your fingers? Take the... All right, now you're dead. Dopsy-dearie. Damn.